So yesterday we talked about Neurosama and essentially some new kind of popularity or whatever that I think I've kind of come across, or at least has been much bigger recently with the whole BiliBili World event that has been going on. Because if you don't know, Neurosama has been growing in China pretty massively to the point where it's pretty much bigger than her accounts over here, which I think is absolutely insane. And well, yeah, in the last video we covered the fact that they were at BiliBili World and that they were at this kind of Chinese convention for BiliBili. If you don't know, the Chinese kind of social media app which Neurosama has been kind of uploading on, or vedal has been uploading on, whatever you want to call it, right? And lots of people have been getting really into it, and yeah, it seems like they've really been a huge hit among the Chinese audience, right? And they essentially did a little bit of a talk panel thing here where they talked and then did a little bit of singing. And I did actually ask in the last video, were they speaking Chinese? They weren't. It would have been cool to have a Chinese Neurosama model, though. I'm still you know, looking for that. But they did have a caption thing which was all in Chinese, so you could read that almost like, you know, subbed vtubers, right? Which I think is pretty crazy to be able to do in 2026, right? But yeah, obviously it seems like it was a huge hit. A lot of people have been kind of attending. You see the amount of cameras and stuff taking pictures of them. But I kind of wanted to go into some of the things that I've seen like going around the con as well, including a lot of cosplayers and a lot of people that have been doing cool stuff at the con, I guess, right? For example, this one Neurosama cosplayer over in the BiliBili event at BiliBili World 2026, you can see she is cosplaying as a Neurosama there, as well as a huge army of evils, which I think is absolutely insane. And you can see the amount of people around taking pictures and whatever. I mean, it's crazy to see the kind of support and whatever Neurosama has over in China, because again, you know, as I said in the last video, I remember whenever they first started out, right, they weren't super huge, and then they had this whole like blow up moment where Neurosama actually accidentally said some things that maybe she should have, and then you know, it ended up being a huge massive you know, thing, and then they ended up blowing up in the way that they are, to the point where now there are people in China that are cosplaying them, making armies of evils. And I just think it's crazy, right? I think it's crazy to see how far it's come, and crazy to see that, you know, obviously how big of an audience Neurosama now has over in China. And I think it's only growing, right? I think it's only getting bigger. And I think with, you know, cons and events like this, like BiliBili World 2026, I definitely think this is going to help promote Neurosama even further in China. And many people are asking the question, like, is vedal going to lean more into Chinese content, right? Are they going to try to do more stuff in China? And I mean, I don't think it would be a bad idea to do that, right? Because again, I think they have got some serious pull whenever it comes to conventions, events, and all of this kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, I would say, you know, obviously continuing with the EN stuff and everything like that and growing, because they're still absolutely huge in the EN space as well. But I definitely think that, you know, attending more Chinese events and making more Chinese content, as I said, maybe even a Chinese version of Neurosama would be pretty sick to, you know, see. But again, of course, I don't know, you know, maybe that happened, maybe that won't happen. But it seems like either way, they are still blowing up right now with stuff like this. And as well, it seems like some other people have been kind of cosplaying as Neuro and Evil, using those, what are they called? Kigurumi masks. And again, I do think they look kind of uncanny. I've never been a big fan of them, I'm going to be honest. I'm pretty sure they're pretty big in China, though. So again, I mean, this is what they look like. I mean, again, it's kind of creepy and uncanny, but it's cool to see that people will go out their way, though, to create, you know, big dedicated cosplays and stuff like this towards the twins, and essentially, you know, kind of attending the event as them, because yeah, I mean, it's cool, right? It's cool to see them grow. But yeah, as I said, these masks kind of creep me out. I don't know if anybody else feels that way. Maybe you don't. Maybe you think it feels great. I don't know. Oh, and then I think they're taking a picture there. So again, for me, kind of creepy, but kind of cool at the same time, because it means that, you know, obviously people are putting, you know, a lot of effort into Neurosama, because it goes from like one of these things of, I don't know how to describe it. It's like you can be popular, right? You can be popular in another country to the point where a lot of people watch your content on BiliBili or whatever, and you know, people would like seeing your face on BiliBili, right? Sure. But it's another thing for them to actually, you know, create cosplays, buy merch, create merch, do whatever, and actually interact with it in real life, which I think is that kind of cool aspect, I don't know, for me, that I feel like makes it a little bit different, right? But yeah, people saying those Kigurumi masks actually peak thing. I don't know. I like the idea of them, but sometimes even here it can look really uncanny. But I swear, man, those girls ain't human. Saying very cosplay. And they say I don't know who that is, but again, apparently I'm assuming they appeared in the background of whatever it is. So cool. So again, lots of people have been kind of going insane and say, I was like, hey, aren't those called, what was it? Kiguruma? Then I saw a comment say Kiguruma mask. Yes, Kiguruma suit. Why did I say Kiguruma? So yeah, so cute. And again, lots of Neurosama fans have been very supportive of a lot of the Chinese fans as well, which I think is also a very cool thing. You know, we actually saw this in the last video too, whenever they were like doing the event at BiliBili World as well. Lots of people were happy to see, yeah, saying that's so cool. Much love to our Chinese swarm brothers. It's cool to see the kind of, what do you call it? Like brotherhood or sisterhood or whatever you want to call it between the fans, despite, you know, it being a very different audience, right? BiliBili is kind of like a, what do you call it? Wild West in terms of someone who lives in the West, right? You know, going onto the platform. Like, it just doesn't make sense. If you've ever been on BiliBili and you're not Chinese or you don't know the platform, you know, that well, it's going to look absolutely insane and absolutely like, just like kind of hard to understand, right? Because I've been on there before. I've got content on there, which I've seen people like re-upload of like my reacts to whenever I did like gacha stuff and all of that kind of stuff. It is very confusing to try and find things. And like, for example, like trying to find out stuff like, they call things like raw meat, which again, I think is crazy. Like raw meat and cooked meat, which meant like it's a clip. So raw meat would be like, it's a clip taken directly from them and that's it. They've done no editing, or no subtitling. Whereas like cooked meat was like, I think they've done subtitling and maybe a bit of editing. It took me forever to find out what that meant and all of that kind of stuff. So again, you know, it is a big Wild West, but it is cool to see that despite the, you know, massive differences in culture and whatever, Neurosama fans are still interacting with the other Neurosama fans across the globe and in China or whatever. And even Neurosama herself is becoming more global despite that kind of gap. And I think, yeah, obviously a lot more maybe could go into it as well. You know, I'm hoping that Vedal like sees the kind of opportunity to do some more stuff in China, because it seems like she is really popular there and it could help out with the brand and growing it. And hey, maybe you could buy some more GPUs for Neuro to run on, or some more RAM or whatever you want to call it, right? But yeah, that's essentially all there is for this. I just kind of wanted to cover it because I thought it was really cool. Again, it's just a little bit of a follow-up. There's some fans and stuff like that, which I thought was worth talking about. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, going to give them subs, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.